Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving into the world of parasitology, focusing on a tiny but dangerous tapeworm, Echinococcus granulosus. This little creature is the culprit behind a serious condition known as Hydatid disease. Let's explore how it works, how it spreads, and what it means for both animals and humans. What is Echinococcus granulosus? Echinococcus granulosus is a small tapeworm that belongs to the family Taenidae. Despite its size, usually only a few millimeters long, it can cause major health problems. The adult worms live in the intestines of definitive hosts like dogs, while the larval stages develop in intermediate hosts, which are often livestock such as sheep, cattle, and pigs. But the real danger is when humans accidentally become intermediate hosts, leading to the formation of cysts in organs like the liver and lungs, which can cause serious health problems. Geographical distribution of Echinococcus granulosus. Echinococcus granulosus is found worldwide, particularly in regions where livestock farming is common. High prevalence areas include the Mediterranean region, Central Asia, South America, and parts of Africa, especially East Africa. It's also present in Western China, Mongolia, and some rural areas of Australia and New Zealand. In North America, cases are reported in the southwestern United States and parts of Canada. Habitat of Echinococcus granulosus. The habitat of Echinococcus granulosus involves two primary hosts, definitive and intermediate. The adult tapeworm resides in the intestines of definitive hosts, which are typically dogs and other canines. Infected dogs shed the parasite's eggs in their feces, contaminating the environment. The intermediate hosts, such as sheep, cattle, and other livestock, ingest these eggs while grazing. Inside these animals, the eggs hatch and the larvae migrate to organs like the liver and lungs, where they form cysts. In accidental cases, humans can also become intermediate hosts, with the larvae forming cysts in various organs. Morphology of Echinococcus granulosus. Echinococcus granulosus is a small tapeworm, typically measuring 2 to 7 mm in length. It has a simple structure with three main parts. Scolex. The head, equipped with suckers and hooks, used to attach to the host's intestinal wall. Neck. A short, narrow region that connects the scolex to the body. Strobila. The body, consisting of a few segments called proglottids. The first proglottids are immature, followed by mature proglottids containing reproductive organs, and finally gravid proglottids filled with eggs. Egg of Echinococcus granulosus. The eggs of Echinococcus granulosus are microscopic and resemble those of other tapeworms in the Taenidae family. They are spherical, measuring about 30–40 micrometers in diameter, and have a thick, resistant outer shell that protects the developing hexaconch embryo inside. This shell allows the eggs to survive harsh environmental conditions for extended periods. When ingested by an intermediate host, the eggs hatch in the intestine, releasing an oncosphere, which then penetrates the intestinal wall and travels through the bloodstream to form cysts in organs like the liver and lungs. Life cycle of Echinococcus granulosus. The life cycle of Echinococcus granulosus involves two hosts. A definitive host, usually dogs, and an intermediate host, such as sheep, cattle, or humans. Egg release. Adult tapeworms live in the intestines of the definitive host, dog, where they produce eggs that are excreted in the host's feces. Egg ingestion by intermediate host. These eggs contaminate the environment and are ingested by intermediate hosts, sheep, cattle, while grazing. Larval development. Inside the intermediate host, the eggs hatch into larvae, oncospheres, which penetrate the intestinal wall and travel via the bloodstream to organs like the liver and lungs, where they form hydatid cysts. Cyst maturation. Within the cysts, the larvae develop into infective forms called protoscoleces. Infection of definitive host. The cycle completes when a definitive host, dog, consumes the organs of an infected intermediate host, sheep, cattle, ingesting the protoscoleces, which then develop into adult tapeworms in the intestines, starting the cycle anew. Accidental host. Humans. Humans become accidental hosts by ingesting the eggs, often through contaminated food, water, or contact with infected dogs. In humans, the larvae also form cysts in organs such as the liver and lungs. However, since humans are not typically consumed by the definitive host, the parasite's life cycle does not continue. How Echinococcus granulosus causes disease, pathogenicity in humans, and what are the symptoms? Echinococcus granulosus causes disease in humans through the formation of hydatid cysts, a condition known as Hydatid disease or cystic echinococcosis. Here's how it happens. Ingestion of eggs. Humans become infected by accidentally ingesting the eggs of Echinococcus granulosus, usually through contact with contaminated soil, water, or food, or by handling infected dogs. Larval migration. Once ingested, the eggs hatch into larvae, oncospheres, in the small intestine. These larvae then penetrate the intestinal wall and enter the bloodstream. Cyst formation. The larvae travel to various organs, most commonly the liver and lungs, where they develop into hydatid cysts. These cysts are fluid-filled sacs that can grow over time, potentially reaching large sizes and containing thousands of tapeworm larvae, protoscoleces. Organ damage and symptoms. The presence of these cysts can cause significant damage to the affected organs. In the liver, cysts may cause abdominal pain, jaundice, and liver dysfunction. In the lungs, they can lead to chest pain, coughing, and shortness of breath. If a cyst ruptures, it can cause severe allergic reactions, including anaphylactic shock, which can be life-threatening. Complications. In some cases, cysts can become infected or rupture spontaneously, leading to the spread of the larva within the body, causing secondary cysts and further complications. Hydatid disease can be serious and requires medical intervention, often involving surgery to remove the cysts or antiparasitic medications to reduce their size and prevent further complications. Laboratory diagnosis of Echinococcus granulosus infection. Imaging techniques. Ultrasound, CT scans, and MRI are commonly used to detect hydatid cysts in organs like the liver and lungs. These imaging methods help identify the size, location, and characteristics of the cysts. Serological tests. Blood tests, such as ELISA and indirect hemagglutination, are used to detect antibodies against Echinococcus granulosus. These tests can confirm the presence of the parasite, especially when imaging results are inconclusive. Histopathology. If a cyst is surgically removed, examining the cyst tissue under a microscope can confirm the diagnosis by identifying the characteristic features of the parasite. Molecular techniques. PCR may be used to detect Echinococcus DNA in cyst fluid or tissue, providing a highly specific diagnosis. What is treatment for Echinococcus granulosus infection? Surgery. The primary treatment for hydatid cysts, especially large or symptomatic ones, is surgical removal. This procedure carefully removes the cysts to avoid rupture and prevent the spread of the parasite. 2. Antiparasitic medications. Drugs like albendazole or mebendazole are often used, either alone or in combination with surgery, to shrink cysts, prevent new cysts from forming, or treat inoperable cases. Consult your doctor before taking any medication. Percutaneous aspiration, injection, and re-aspiration, PAIR. In some cases, a minimally invasive procedure called PAIR is used. It involves draining the cysts, injecting them with a scolicidal agent to kill the parasite, and then re-aspirating the contents. Observation. For small, asymptomatic cysts, particularly in elderly or high-risk patients, careful monitoring may be recommended instead of immediate intervention. How to prevent Echinococcus granulosus infection. Deworming dogs. Regular deworming of dogs, especially those that have access to livestock or wild animals, is crucial to prevent the spread of the parasite. Proper disposal of animal remains. Ensure that the organs of slaughtered livestock are properly disposed of, preventing dogs from accessing them and potentially becoming infected. Hygiene practices. Practice good hygiene, such as washing hands thoroughly after handling dogs or livestock and before eating, to reduce the risk of ingesting parasite eggs. Safe water and food. Avoid consuming contaminated water and ensure that food, especially vegetables and fruits, is thoroughly washed to remove any potential eggs. Public health education. Educating communities, particularly in rural areas, about the risks and prevention strategies can help reduce the incidence of the disease. Control of stray dogs. Managing stray dog populations and reducing their contact with livestock can help break the parasite's life cycle. Conclusion. So, that's a quick overview of Echinococcus granulosus and the dangers it poses. It's amazing how such a tiny organism can have such a big impact on both animal and human health. If you found this video informative, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching and stay safe.